Giants with just 7 runs over their last 4 games. They got a couple last night. Called strike, and we're underway. Curveball missed the inside corner. 1-1. Broken bat, ground ball right to Bobby Scales. Good to get that out of the way. His first chance in the major leagues.
Breathe, Bobby, breathe. He's a lot more mature than a lot of guys who get their major league debut here at Wrigley Field. 31 years old, and as you heard Kip talk about before the ball game, he has been waiting his whole life for this opportunity. Glad to get that first one out of the way.
Edgar Renteria digging in. 2 for 8 with 3 strikeouts against Marshall, and he bunts his way on. That'll be an infield hit for Renteria.
We've seen a lot of really good bunts for base hits in this homestand. This time Renteria dumps one down that third base line. That ball just got out there and died in front of Mike Fontenot. Fanned on the barehanded attempt. I don't believe he would have had a play on Renteria anyway. Feeling that infield grass looks a little thicker than we saw it throughout the season last year, and maybe even for the first couple of homestands. It's taken a lot of rain in the early going this season, and I'm sure as we move forward it'll speed up a little bit.
Renteria getting the nod at first versus the lefty. Had a good at bat in the 9th last night and lined out to Reed Johnson to end the game. The last 2 days Kevin Gregg has been on the mound for that final out and gotten some good help from his outfield defense. We'll probably not see Marmol or Gregg today. They've both been very busy. And look for Aaron Heilman in a safe situation. Marshall will throw over to first. Renteria back in plenty of time. And actually, Bob, the way I look at it positively in a sense that those guys are not available. They've been used with the Cubs leading late a lot recently, and that wasn't the case in the first 2 or 3 weeks.
That's a good sign when your close game late relievers are unavailable. That means they've been busy lately. You'd like to think they're available every day, but that's not a realistic expectation for any pitcher.
Fouled back by Aurelio. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the veteran infielder. Astros playing a matinee in DC. Cubs will be in Houston tomorrow night. 5-3 Astros over the Nationals in the bottom of the 6th. Roy Oswalt went just 5 innings today, gave up 4 hits through 89 pitches. Kind of makes you wonder. Working with a lead, and he's out of the game.
He's had some leg issues the last couple of years, and it flares up at some odd times. I'm not saying that's a problem with Roy Oswalt. We don't even know if there is a problem.
No swing, 2-2.
Very important today, Len, with this patchwork lineup. A lot of guys in the lineup that haven't been in the lineup. Some guys playing positions they haven't played before. Communication is vitally important. Joey Gathright in center, the captain of the outfield today. He'll be responsible for making calls for the balls hit in the gaps. Michael Hoffpauer has seen playing time in right field and first base, but not a lot of time out there in left field.
Kick and the pitch. Rolled past a diving Fontenot, and the Giants have 2 on with 1 out. And Bob, according to MLB Game Day, there was an injury. So it looks like something happened to Oswalt. We'll let you know when we find out. Here comes Benji Molina.
Really, it just does slap this ball past Mike Fontenot down there at third base. A couple of steps and a dive, just scoots under the glove into left field for a base hit. talked about it in the ball game last night. With a runner at first base and Benji Molina at the plate, the double play is always a possibility. We showed you the highlight of the game from last night when Ramirez tried to start a 5-4-3 double play. Miles lost the handle out there at second base. Molina was the batter runner on that play.
High fly ball to left. Micah Hoffpower is going to watch that thing go. He went into the well, and Benji Molina with a 3-run homer. His 5th of the year. And just like that, Tim Lincecum has a first inning cushion. That's only the Giants' 14th home run of the season.
Well, we talked about it in the ball game last night, Len. A number of hitters in this Giants lineup, Benji Molina included. You do not necessarily have to throw them strikes to get them out. That time, Sean just trying to get ahead with a fastball down the middle of the plate. Benji Molina came out of his shoes swinging at that first strike.
Swing and a miss by Aaron Rowan. Molina knocked in 95 last year. He's a cleanup hitter. He's paid to drive in runs. Marshall's 2-1 pitch, ground ball to Fontenot, drops it, but has time and gets rolling by a full step.
Good recovery by Fontenot. Talk all the time about guys who have the ability to slow the game down a little bit. Sometimes when you kick a ball like that at third base, your heart starts racing, your mind's going a million miles an hour, and you don't find the ball and get it across the infield for the out. But that time Fontenot stayed with it. Strike across the diamond to Derek Lee.
Low and away on Randy Wynn. Only run Sean Marshall gave up in his last start was on a solo home run by Jorge Cantu. Another bunt. Hill will pick it up. The throw to first is just in time to get Wynn. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Tim Lincecum's been really good lately. We'll see how the Cubs offense can handle him. 36 for the Cubs. Aaron Miles' first start at short. Kosuke's in right. Lee at first. Hoffpauir first start in left. Fontenot at third. Bobby Scales his major league debut. Hill and Marshall make up the battery. We'll get you the Giants defense here momentarily. The 5'11", 170-pound Cy Young Award-winning Tim Lincecum. Ball one.
Sixth start of the season for Tim Lincecum. I mentioned his first two were not real good against the Brewers and the Padres. Went 8 1/3, gave up 14 hits, 7 runs. He did strike out 10 batters, but also walked 6. But in his next 3, he has been nails. 2 starts against the Diamondbacks, 1 against the Dodgers. Total of 23 innings, only 16 hits, and 33 strikeouts.
There's his first strike. It's 2-1 on Joey Gathright. Lincecum beat the Cubs both times he faced them last year, and in both games he ended up driving in the game-winning run. Cornermen play in against Gathright, who hits it foul back to the netting.
I mentioned before, Len, he'll throw a lot of high four-seam fastballs. It's such a tempting pitch to swing at, but a very tough pitch to catch up to. And home plate umpire Tony Randazza will have some say in that as well. Depends on how high he'll go with that four-seam fastball for Lincecum. He'll also feature a curveball, a changeup, a rare slider from time to time. His velocity on that fastball will sit anywhere between 88 and 95 miles an hour. Just amazing that he's able to generate that kind of arm speed and that kind of velocity from that frame.
Pesky Gathright hanging in there. We've already seen 2 bunt attempts by the Giants. We may see a few from the Cubs today, trying to find a way to get on base against Tim Lincecum. Back up the middle and through for Gathwright's second hit of the year.
Let's quickly take a look at the Giants defense, brought to you by Home Depot. Freddie Lewis, Aaron Rowan, and Randy Wynn across the outfield today. Former White Sox Juan Uribe over at third base, Edgar Renteria at shortstop, Emmanuel Burris at second base, Rich Aurelio over at first base. We've already seen Benji Molina do some damage offensively. He'll be behind the plate for the reigning Cy Young winner in the National League, Tim Lincecum.
First time all year Ryan Theriot has been out of the lineup. Same for Alfonso Soriano. Hoffpauir in left, Miles at short. The kick and the pitch off the outside corner, ball one. Uribe pinched in at third. Aurelio holding on Gathright at first. Joey's 1 for 3 in stolen base attempts. Overslit the bag the other day at second and was called out. One of the fastest players in baseball.
Well, hopefully Joey Gathright will settle in today, realize he's going to get 4 or 5 at bats in this game. Sometimes when you're waiting for your opportunities and you get in there as a pinch hitter or a pinch runner, you try to do a little bit too much.
That's a good lead right there, because it took a dive and he was able to just get back in time, and good base stealers will tell you it should be close at first. If it's not, you need to get farther off the bag. Long pause by Lincecum. Gathwright's not running. There's a bouncer back to the pitcher. Throw goes to Renteria. It jumps over the sliding Gathright, and they turn the 1-6-3 double play.
Two batters, 2 ground balls right back through the box. Joey's got through. Aaron's goes right to Tim Lincecum on a hop. Easy double play for the Giants. A statuesque finish to that delivery, but able to make the play on that chopper back to the mound easily.
lot of stories out there about Tim Lincecum and his dad constructing his windup when Tim was very young. I'm sure a lot of people have seen video of Tim Lincecum as a kid with the exact same windup.
Exact same windup as a little leaguer.
2-1 on Fukudome. He gets great extension, and the right foot starts on the rubber, but by the time the ball leaves his hand, he has already lunged way towards the plate.
It's probably not a delivery that you would teach a young pitcher just starting out, but it's something that has certainly worked for him throughout his career. We mentioned the all left-handed lineup for the Cubs today. They've actually hit for a much lower average than right-handed hitters. However, the righties have struck out at a much greater clip.
A liner to left, and it's right at Fred Lewis. So a shutdown inning for Lincecum after Molina hit the 3-run homer. 3-zip Giants early.
Lincecum looks like he ought to be carrying a skateboard.
Yeah, he does.
Still not what you would picture a major league pitcher to look like. Not very tall, not very thick, with the long hair hanging down. It looks like he's about 16 years old, but man, can he throw a baseball.
Fontenot's been busy early as he throws out Juan Uribe. Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the Padres on Tuesday, May 12th. Game time 7:05, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive an exclusive limited edition Ernie Banks bobblehead doll, compliments of Only Vegas. Emmanuel Burris been a lot better right-handed than left-handed. And he tried to push a bunt past Sean Marshall. He's 8 for 19 from the right side.
Not hard to figure out what the Giants talked about in their advance meeting today, working against Sean Marshall with Mike Fontenot at third base and a rookie at second base. They're going to try to play a little small ball in the infield. We've seen some bunt attempts. We've seen a couple of the Giants hitters show bunt and pull the bat back. And that's been a problem in the past for Sean Marshall. Hasn't really been an issue so far in the 09 season.
Cubs starters going into today with a 3.23 earned run average on this 4-1 homestand. They haven't. The offense hasn't hit for average, but they have hit big home runs. 8 home runs in the first 5 games, and they're scoring over 5 runs per contest. It'll be tough to get there today. In the dirt, and it's full 3-2. How many guys on the DL are as active as Carlos Zambrano the last 2 days? The left hamstring strain. Into right, and it'll drop down in front of Kosuke, and he was thinking about, I think, trying to throw to first base if Burris wasn't hustling.
It's a play you usually try to make with the opposing pitcher lining the ball to the right fielder. That first baseman will try to get back to the bag and maybe have a play on the pitcher. That time Burris hit the ball hard enough that I think Fukudome would have come up throwing.
Lincecum bunts, and Marshall's going to throw to Scales covering first. Well, Big Z got out on the field today, one day after being placed on the DL. Got to keep that arm loose without pushing that hamstring too much.
Yeah, he can't pitch out of his full delivery, but he definitely can't get out there in the outfield, play some catch. I'm sure he'll be doing some work in the weight room to maintain his muscle tone, but got to take it very easy with that injured hamstring.
Got to take it easy with that hair too. Runner goes toward third, and he'll get there in plenty of time as Hill couldn't get a handle on it, and I don't think would have had a play on Burris. He got a huge jump.
8th stolen base of the season for Emmanuel Burris. He is always looking to steal a base. It doesn't matter what the count is or who the hitter is at the plate. That's one of his strengths, is stealing bags. Great speed.
The 1-0 bounce to Derek Lee, and he'll take the out at first, and that ends the inning. 1-out single. Burris ends up stranded at third.
Toward home plate, watch his head fall off to the first base side of the mound. And as Len told you an inning ago, that right foot, the push-off foot on the mound, is probably a good 1.5 to 2 feet in front of the rubber by the time he releases that pitch. That's our Jimmy John's delivery of the day. America's favorite sandwich delivery guys.
Wearing out the front of the right shoe. Got a little covering there to help protect it. As he faces Derek Lee, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, and I think it's significant to watch his head too as he delivers that ball to home plate. The pitching coaches will tell you that, depending on the player, of course, but 15 to 18% of your body weight.
Deep into the corner and left for Lee, and it's off the wall. That thing really rolling as Lewis will pick it up but not before Derek has a double, his 349th career double. Leadoff man has been on twice.
And he stays hot against Tim Lincecum. He's had pretty good success against the right-hander in his career. 5 for 13 coming into play today. Now 6 for 14. Jumps on a fastball, belt high inside part of the plate. Just to finish that thought, Len, pitching coaches will tell you that your head is about 15 to 18% of your body weight, and wherever your head goes, that's where your upper body is going to follow, and your arm is going to follow in turn. But Lincecum has found a delivery that he can lean his head as far as he does to the first base side and still keep his arm in a good position. For some guys, your head is about 50% of your body weight.
1-0 pitch. Curveball strike on Hoffpauer, giving Soriano a break today. So Micah has made starts now in right, at first, and in left. I asked Alfonso, what do you do on an off day? He goes, he looked lost. Trying to figure out some sort of regimen today. 2-1. He might get a chance late. The kick and the pitch. A little too high. 3-1. Fontenot on deck. Cubs with a bunch of lefties in their lineup. Only Derek Lee swinging from the right side. 3 switch hitters and 5 lefties. High drive to right. Randy Wynn backpedaling just in front of the track. Lee tagging, and he'll end up at third standing.
Okay, he did not miss that by much. That ball was a mile in the air and still carried all the way to the warning track in right field. Just a little bit under that fastball, up and out over the plate. Backpedaling all the way to the warning track. Derek Lee able to easily tag and move up to third base.
So Fontenot trying to knock in Lee. Strike 1. 6 hits on the homestand, 2 home runs. He's driven in 5. He's now made more starts at third than at second. His 12th start at third, only 11 at second. It's because of Ramirez dealing with the calf injury.
Well, it's kind of surprising to me that Fontenot hasn't had better success against Tim Lincecum. Only 1 for 7 with 5 strikeouts. Mike handles that fastball up and out over the plate probably as well as anybody in the lineup today.
Lee's going to score as Aurelia steps on first. An RBI ground out for Fontenot. It's 3-1.
Good productive out by Micah Hoffpauer. Results in an RBI ground out by Mike Fontenot. Give him each an RBI. Half an RBI.
If the Giants didn't have a 3-0 lead, they might have played the infield in. But they have a little bit of a cushion, and Bobby Scales, his first major league at bat, fouls it back. And right after that heater from Lincecum. He's a substitute teacher in the offseason. Career high 320 last year with AAA Iowa. He had a chance to go to some other organizations, but he just felt comfortable with the Cubs, liked the situation here, and came back for what's his 11th pro season. And now he's in the major leagues for the first time. 1-2. No idea how long he's going to be here. Cubs will have to make another move to accommodate Randy Wells on Friday. Swing and a miss. So they do get a run on the ground out by Fontenot plating Lee. It's 3-1 San Francisco. Instant analysis from Todd Hollandsworth, and check in on Lou Pinella's post-game remarks. Don't miss Lowe's Cubs post-game live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend, Edgar Renteria in the third, with the Giants leading 3-1. Mike Fontenot knocking in Derek Lee to get the Cubs on the board. And for Benji Molina, hit a 3-run shot in the first. Blackhawks back home. Game 3 tonight on Comcast Sportsnet. Series tied at 1-1 with the Canucks. Place is going to be rocking tonight. Renteria, it's a fly ball fairly deep, but Kosuke with a beat on it. Gets to the spot. 1 out.
Get out here early for batting practice some days. Occasionally a hitter will tell you what he's going to try to do during the course of a ball game. Edgar Renteria today in batting practice for the Giants spent the first 3 rounds of his BP just trying to line the ball to right field, and sure enough, his second at bat of the game, a line drive to Fukudome in right. I'm sure for Renteria he would prefer to drop in front or get over the head of Fukudome, but that's what he was working on early today.
Nice play by the 6'7" Marshall.
Well, and I mentioned that Sean Marshall had some defensive misadventures in the past, but that's something he's worked very hard on improving. His stuff is very good. He's got good enough stuff to be a big-time game winner in the major leagues. Occasionally his defense, his own defense, let him down, but he's worked very hard on it, going all the way back to Fitch Park in Mesa this spring, and makes a nice play on that bouncer back through the box.
Curveball to Molina, ball 1. Benji is 2 for 2. Create your own Chicago Cubs collectible using your favorite photos at the photo store on Cubs.com. In 3 easy steps, you can make your very own Cubs memory. Go to Cubs.com today. Rowan grounded out his first time up. Still don't have the official update on Roy Oswalt, but it sounds like there's a problem with his right index finger. Don't know if it's a blister or something, but that's why he had to come out in that game in Washington. And the Astros bullpen has given it up again. It's 8-5 Nationals in the 7th. They scored 6 times in the 6th. Scales covering second, getting the throw from Miles, and the inning comes to an end. Hill, Marshall, and Gathright coming up. 3-1 Giants. Cubs trail by 2 as we check in on the Menards Big Lumber stat. They have homered in 10 of 13 here at home, including the last 5. For the Cubs, starting with Coy Hill, the catcher. Cubs are 5-2 when Coy Hill starts. 23-11 going back to 2007.
You know, Len, sometimes that can be attributed to who you're catching in your starts, or whom you're catching, I guess. I always had trouble with that.
Shadow man.
But, you know, Coy has, caught everybody in the rotation over the last 2 or 3 years he's been here with the Cubs. It's not like he's been matched up with one pitcher every time out there. It's just wherever his spot drops in to start a ball game. In all those years that Tim McCarver was the personal catcher for Steve Carlton, numbers were pretty good when Tim McCarver started behind the plate.
Greg Maddux normally had the backup catcher, especially in Atlanta. About Eddie Perez and Paul Bacco, Henry Blanco. Yeah, I'm sure their record was pretty good.
Yeah.
Got him. Fastball caught a big part of the plate. And he has a second strikeout.
We've seen the big curveball from Lincecum so far in this game. A couple of changeups, but mostly fastballs. A lot of them up high in the zone. That one he drove down to the knees. Coy Hill got caught looking for something else.
He misses a lot of bats. He's a first-round pick out of the University of Washington in 2006 from Bellevue, Washington. The Cubs drafted him in 03. In the 48th round, he did not sign. 42nd round by Cleveland in 05. Didn't sign. And was the Golden Spikes Award winner at Washington in 06. And he quickly erases Sean Marshall. Meet the Team, Have a Ball, presented by Bank of America, is on Wednesday, May 13th at 2:30. Collect autographs on an authentic MLB baseball from the 2009 Cubs players and coaches in attendance. Limited tickets are available for $300 each. Proceeds benefit Cubs designated charities. To purchase tickets, call 773-404-CUBS. Gathright, foul tip, strike 1. Single in the first inning, but then eliminated on a double play. Inside on a fastball as Lincecum tried to catch that corner. The Cubs are in second in the Central, 2.5 back of St. Louis. San Francisco right at 500. They're 5.5 behind the Dodgers, who keep on winning at home. It's caught by Rowand, and that's it for the Cubs in the third. It's San Francisco 3, the Cubs 1. B and the S apparently had to run to the restroom. Well, the guy in the blue shirt looked like he might be joining the mix. Cinco de Mayo.
Cubs are looking to win 5 in a row here today.
Very nice. Randy Wynn, switch hitter, batting right-handed. Following him, Uribe and Burris. Bounced foul. Well, for a while there, the Giants were oldest team in baseball. Tons of veterans. They're starting to get younger, slowly but surely. And they've got Renteria, Aurelia, Molina, Rowan, Wynn, Uribe in the lineup. Some younger guys like their starting pitcher, Burris, second base, Lewis in left.
You know, Len, for a number of years there, it seemed like the Giants as an organization were content to let Barry be the marquee player, and certainly he was the marquee player. But I think their player development system, maybe some of the deals that could have been made during the season to improve their ball club, kind of went by the wayside. They knew they were going to draw a large crowd as long as Barry Bonds was playing left field and chasing home run records, and the rest of the organization slipped a little bit.
Aflac Ducks not slipping. Named the only NL 25 game winner who never won a Cy Young award. 25 wins and can't win the Cy Young. Uribe with a broken bat grounder, gobbled up by Miles. 2 outs. I would believe that would have been during the 60s.
And usually there's some kind of connection to the team that we're playing against or the Cubs organization. So,
Give you more details. This pitcher won 25 games 3 different times. He did not win a Cy Young award. I've got it, Cy Young.
there you go.
Well, 1-1 to Burris. High 2-1. Lincecum's on deck. He'll only bat if Burris gets on. Into right and down for hits. The same spot Burris found his first at bat. Short right. Kosuke right now is going to move in with Lincecum out there, and he might stay there next time Burris is up. This is like a carbon copy.
Yeah, a little reminiscent of Ryan Theriot before he became a big power hitter. Used to inside out that ball just in front of the right fielder. Looking through the Giants media guide, and this really has very little to do with the question at hand, but in 1903 they had 2 30-game winners. Joe McGinty went 31-20, and Christy Matheson went 30-13.
Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Lincecum. He was 18-5 last year. The Giants went 22-12 when he started. They went 50-78 in all the rest of their games. It makes you think about Steve Carlton's mind-boggling 27-10 Cy Young campaign for the hapless Phillies in '72. It's definitely in the ballpark. Not quite that drastic. You know, I actually have a thought, and what makes me think I know the answer is Tim Lincecum's the second Giant to win the Cy Young. Mike McCormick was the first in 1967. There's a guy named Juan Marichal who just kind of out there. I might go with him. A 25-game winner without winning the Cy Young. He would be in that era where it'd be tough to win one. Guys like Koufax and Gibson in your league. Well, we'll find out what the answer is coming up. 3-1 Giants. '26 wins in '68, but we all know who won that year.
Juan Marichal known for that enormous high leg kick. He kicked his left foot way up over his head before delivering the ball to home plate.
Well, first time through the order, the Cubs garnered 2 hits and 1 run versus Lincecum. Miles batting second in the lineup. And it's quickly 0-2. Up and in. Ball and 2 strikes.
It seems kind of odd for Tim Lincecum, a guy that's had the kind of success that he has, but if you look at his splits, second time through the lineup, opponents this year hitting almost 360 against him.
Good play for Lewis.
First time through the lineup, the batting average for the opponents is 159. Then, as I mentioned, the second plate appearance in a game, it jumps up to 359, and then the third appearance plus drops back down to 243.
Bounced in front of home plate. This week's a little different with the 2-2-3 setup, and the Giants got here all around midnight yesterday, getting ready for the game last night. Day game here. They go to Denver for 2 against the Rockies, and then to Los Angeles. It's a busy week. And the big unit did not come to Chicago this brief series, and he'll pitch Wednesday in Colorado with the back problems in his career. They didn't want to make him sit on a plane for several hours.
Well, I heard some boos on the third base side. I wasn't sure what it was all about. Took a look over there. A couple of Vancouver Canuck fans roaming around Wrigley Field.
Swing and a miss. Miles strikes out.
Hey, Cub fans, you can get a full meal for under $5 thanks to McDonald's Appetite Stimulus Package. A hot sandwich, a cold drink, and a delicious fries, all for under $5.
The Vancouver Canucks have had more different uniform schemes and colors than I think any team in pro sports history. Remember they had the black, orange, and yellow look with the big V in front. But that green and blue, that's their original color scheme. That's a jersey we like.
That's a real jersey. Sweater.
Sweater, yes. Koskei pulls it. Aurelia with a sliding grab, and Lincecum got right to the base.
Rich Aurelia spent most of his previous career with the Giants as a shortstop, but as he's moved up in years, he finds himself playing a lot more on the corners, either third base or first base. Nice backhanded stop that time, and a good throw on to Lincecum just in time to get Fukudome, who was streaking down that line. The guy needs to put a towel on.
Derek Lee looks at ball one. The long hair has quickly become the Tim Lincecum trademark. If he ever became a Yankee, do you think they'd make him cut it?
I think they probably would. Made guys
Johnson did, right? Randy Johnson had to.
Cut his hair.
Jason Giambi.
Guys that trimmed up their beards and their mustaches and their goatees. Johnny Damon had to shear off a lot of his hair. Did it for charity.
I don't want to get either of us in too much trouble, but why can't a guy, if he wants long hair, why can't he have long hair?
You know, I've kind of come full circle on that, Len. You know, when I first got to the major leagues, we all were required to cut our hair, keep it very short.
High fly ball for Lee, and Rowland is going to get it. So they go down in order once again. It's 3-1 Giants. Sean Marshall back to work. Only one mistake. He gave up a 3-run homer to Benji Molina in the first. That's it. Top of the order for San Francisco. Third time through. One strike to Fred Lewis. The pitch pulled hard right to Derek Lee, and he'll take it unassisted. Well, the Dodgers, the first National League team in the modern era to go 11-0 to start the home season. They hit into a triple play last night, but still beat the Diamondbacks 7-2. Manny hit a home run. Major league record to start the year, home wins consecutively. The 1911 Detroit Tigers, who went 12-0. Looking at Manny's numbers, his on-base percentage, a Bonds like 500, hitting 360. He's pretty good.
Yeah, if he just cut his hair, he'd really be good, right? You know, we started to talk about that. I've come full circle. There was a time when I thought, you know, you need to represent, you need to keep your hair short. But then I became a manager.
All you wanted was production. Productive players.
Wear
right?
pigtails. If you drive in runs and get people out and do your job on a daily basis, show up ready to play hard every day, if you prepare physically and mentally, it really didn't affect the game at all. I mean,
Three-two.
There you go. Mad Hungarian, Al Raboski on the left, John Kruk on the right.
Sean Marshall couldn't go with that scraggly look today. Had those strict grooming rules. But again, every organization's different. And the Yankees would tell you, hey, we are different. There's an expectation when you come here. Clean shaven, no long hair. That's the way it is.
As opposed to the Oakland A's, when Charlie Finley encouraged his players to grow big handlebar mustaches.
Didn't he pay him to do that?
Yeah, big bonuses.
First strikeout for Marshall.
Starting to get a much better feel for that breaking ball now. Early in the game, he was having trouble, kept bouncing it in the dirt. Big sweeping curve ball, down and in. Renteria swings right over the top. I guess my only issue with hair would be if it interferes with your player. If you're too worried about your hair getting in your face, or you know, with Manny's dreads, it seems like it takes him a while to get his do-rag on there just right. And then I might have a problem with it. But if it doesn't interfere whatsoever with what you're doing out there on the field, go for it.
Jeff Samardzija got a haircut recently, but still pretty bushy in the back. The 0-1 on the way. Aurelia with a one-hopper. Miles will take care of him. And Sean Marshall keeping his team very much in this one today against Tim Lincecum. It's 3-1.
facing the reigning Cy Young winner in the National League, you know you're going to have to keep your mistakes to a minimum. Unfortunately, it happened early in the game before Sean got sharp with his command, just made a mistake with a fastball down the middle of the plate to a real good hitter.
Michael Hoffpower got a hold of one his first time up, and he'll lead it off for the Cubs as he flied to deep right. After the leadoff double by Lee in the second, Lincecum has gone 9 up, 9 down.
He too has found a better feel for his secondary pitches. We've seen some real nasty overhand curveballs and that straight changeup right there to Michael Hoffpower, the same pitch he used to strike out Sean Marshall an inning ago.
Swing and a miss. Another change by Lincecum. Ticket sales are at a record pace, but plenty of tickets are still available for the 2009 season. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Mike Fontenot knocked in a run when he grounded out back in the second. A lot of the conversation lately has been about the power. Although Mike hit for a lot of power last year, but you add Ryan Theriot to that mix. They've combined for 8 home runs already. So wouldn't mind another 2 or 3 run shot to help out their starter today. A really good year as a part-timer last season. Fans hanging in the bleachers on the rooftop across the street on Waverly. It's like a field trip.
Count me in. I'd show up to that school.
Either it's a school-sponsored trip, and a lot of people out there named Bueller. Another strikeout. That's 6 for Lincecum.
Boy, and he is really getting a handle on that changeup now. That ball's just dying as it gets to the hitting zone. Looks like a hard sinker that some right-handed pitchers would throw in the mid-80s. Wicked movement down and away from the left-handed hitter.
A lot of changeups are just simply about the change of speeds, and the ball will dive just a little bit, not a ton, as Bobby Scales has his first major league hit. Cubs will ask for that baseball. Look at that. That's great. Deep breath by Bobby Scales, and actually bounced the ball over, and the fan did a good thing right there, handing it back to Kosuke.
I don't think you have to worry about that in this ballpark. The fans understand that this was Bobby Scales' major league debut. They also understood that was his first base hit. Very graciously tossed it back down into the dugout. Opposite field, slashing single into left for Bobby Scales. Congratulations.
Love the reaction. So normally now they'll take another ball and add all kinds of funny things on it that probably we can't say on the air. Bobby will probably fake like he's upset. Old song and dance. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes on Coy Hill. Had a chance to play a little bit at third the other night. The Cubs were a little short-handed. It was Thursday against the Marlins. Uneventful for him. Nothing was hit his way. It was only 1 inning.
So when a catcher plays another position, though, they don't look at it like that. They'll say he handled his position flawlessly. It wasn't his fault they didn't hit anything to him.
He draws the 4-pitch walk. So this started with 2 outs. That's the first walk given up by Lincecum.
It's the first time he's been in a stretch since back in the 2nd inning. Maybe that's had some effect on the Giants' right-hander.
Sean Marshall can help himself here. And he pops it up. Lewis comes over toward the bullpen. And it's into the front row. It's the second row fan made a catch. Marshall shoots that ball out in the center, and Scales is going to score. Throw goes to third. Save. It's 3-2. Career RBI number 4 for Marshall.
Attaboy, Sean. A changeup up and out over the plate. That's the same pitch he swung through to strike out back in the 3rd inning. This time gets just enough of it to dunk it in front of Aaron Rowand in center field. 2 outs. Bobby Scales is going to score easily. Good aggressive base running by Coy Hill to go 1st to 3rd.
As the pull over on, try to keep that left arm warm. As Joey Gathright comes up with the tying run down 90 feet away. Tapped foul. Nothing in 2 on Gathright. Only 1 walk, but looming large because after Hill walked, Sean Marshall came up with a big RBI single. Bobby Scales with his first major league hit and run in his debut, and he could never take it away from him. And on the hands that time. We talked about this before. You just say to yourself, just to get one shot, 1 hit, 1 run, you do all that, but then you get greedy. You say, you know, I like it up here.
It feels so good. You want it to happen on a daily basis.
Another foul. Joey able to hang in against Lincecum. Ballparks are bigger, food's better, get paid more money, all that stuff, but you can throw that out the window. The bottom line is it's all about playing baseball at the highest level. That's what matters the most. With that at Bobby Scales. He's had to work in the offseason to help make ends meet as a substitute teacher. over a decade in the minors.
And you've got to love the game to play that many years in the minor leagues, waiting for your chance.
Another 1-2 pitch. Another foul. These are the kinds of grinding at bats that maybe can knock Lincecum out an inning earlier than he would like later. Be right to the second baseman. Burris, they get the out at second. But Sean Marshall knocking in Bobby Scales after Scales picked up his first major league hit. What an inning for Bobby Scales. Got the ball. Cubs trail by only 1. So Sean Marshall try to keep San Francisco at 3. Benji Molina's 2 for 2. And he has 5 game-winning RBIs, most in the National League. Go-ahead RBI with the home run. Still a long way to go. We have members of the Chicago Bears offensive line to handle the stretch a little later. There are 9 or 10 guys on the field during batting practice. But we understand Roberto Garza, Chris Williams, and Tyler Reed will be singing the stretch. I don't think we could get them all in here.
We'd have to remodel the press box to get them all in here. Big boys.
Two and 1 to Molina. Rowan next. Yeah, he could probably play offensive line. The Bears.
Tough pass.
And Hill and Marshall will get on the same page here. Tonight, Game 3. Series will shift to Chicago. Brent Seabrook, Duncan Keith, and the Blackhawks look to have the Madhouse on Madison rocking after a big home win. Coverage starts with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live. Blackhawks hosting the Canucks. Game 3 tonight, 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Two on Molina. Count holding. Saw a note on ESPN.com. Over the last 15 years, in terms of 100 RBI guys with the San Francisco Giants, they've had 2 guys who've knocked in at least 100. The names Bonds and Kent. That's it. Molina got close last year with 95. Diving stop by Scales. Lots of time. Nicely done.
Oh, Bobby. We saw the great interview Kip had with Bobby Scales before the ball game. He said, I'm just going to play my game. It's the same size field. The ball's the same size. The mound 60 feet 6 inches from home plate, and he's probably made that play about 500 times in the minor leagues in 11 years.
He's played second more than anywhere else, but he's played all 4 spots in the infield. He's also manned the outfield. He's a switch hitter. Obviously, he's tried to increase his versatility, and that's the reason he's here, because he can play all those infield spots. Rowan grounding out to Miles.
For individual health insurance from a name you can trust, call Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois at 866-575-BLUE.
Fontenot, even with a bag at third, as Wynn looks at a strike. Randy Wynn was born in Los Angeles, grew up in the Bay Area. Cousin of former Cub Damon Buford. Played college hoops at Santa Clara with Steve Nash. Steve Nash couldn't play for the Yankees either. A 1-1 for Marshall. Fontenot can't get it, neither can Miles. Would have been a tough play for Aaron deep in the hole. Wynn runs well, and he has his first hit.
Well, that's that play for the shortstop. You might as well stay on your feet, try to pick it clean on the backhand side, because if you dive for the ball, Randy Wynn's going to be safe at first base anyway. Aaron Miles just tried to pick it as he was slowing himself down, getting ready to plant that right foot and make the throw, but unfortunately the ball gets through into left field. If he dives, it's a base hit anyway.
Uribe's grounded out twice. Marshall will throw to first.
Good idea to check on Randy Wynn. Perfect 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts this year with 2 outs in the inning. Approaching the bottom of the order here for the Giants. This would figure to be a time Randy Wynn would look to steal.
Uribe was a non-roster invitee, signed a minor league deal in late January. He made the Giants opening day roster. He was involved in many crosstown classics, Cubs and White Sox. He's been a Rocky and now a Giant. Huge day here at Wrigley as a member of the White Sox 3 years ago. Knocked in 5, 3 hits, June 30th of that year. He had 9 RBIs in that particular 3-game series. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitching matchup tomorrow night, Rich Harden and Mike Hampton. Ted Lilly will go Thursday night, game you can catch on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. And the Astros have not announced their starter. So Harden and Hampton. Didn't miss by much. Happy birthday wishes go out to Beverly Leone, watching at home today. Her son Frank mixing our audio as always, doing a fantastic job.
Uribe with a long look down at third base coach Tim Flannery on this 3-1 count with 2 outs. Wynn figures to be on the move over there at first base, but Uribe just wanted to know for sure. That hitter likes to know when that runner's going to go. Get a pitch from the middle of the plate away. He might try to shoot it through that right side.
Up in the air, Gathrigh's coming in. Scales is going out. Scales calling everybody off, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. 2-out single, no runs. Cubs on the comeback trail. They're down only 1. It's 3-2, and they'll back coming up.
Congratulations. Good luck finding a job. Not those particular students, but it's a tough economy.
Yeah. 3-2 Giants. Miles batting second, followed by Fukudome and Lee. Much different looking lineup today, as Lou wanted to give most of the regulars a day off. In the middle of this long stretch without a day off. Ramos was a little sore after his first start back last night. Day game after a night game. Catcher Soto off as well.
Yeah, it's usually when a manager will pick to give a veteran player a day off, the day game after a night game. Very quick turnaround. Guys probably didn't get home till midnight, maybe later last night. Right back at the ballpark bright and early this morning. Good day to run the killer bees out there.
Full count. Well, they're very much in it, down only 3-2. Miles draws the lead off 3 pass.
Good start to the inning for the Cubs, and Aaron Miles took a close fastball just off of that inside corner, putting Lincecum immediately into the stretch where he had some problems last inning.
Comcast has more HD than anyone and bundles to fit your needs. The 10,000 choices of on-demand programming ready to pick and play whenever. Comcast has a bundle for you. Call 1-888-4-BEST-TV. Tying run is on base as Kosuke showing bunt and pulled it back.
Uribe will now position himself a step or two in front of the baseline down there at third. He was well behind the bag on that first pitch to Fukudome. I think he was just trying to bunt for a base hit on his own.
Trying to come up with a big hit here, keep the line moving. But Derek Lee, as he fouls it off to the left. Lou has to be extremely pleased with what he's gotten from Sean Marshall. With a 3-run homer in the first, he hasn't given up anything. 6 very solid innings. Squares again, 2-1.
You may have noticed that time Benji Molina, as he gave his sign to Tim Lincecum, really closed his right knee. He called for a changeup and wanted to make sure that Aaron Miles down there at first base didn't see the sign. The changeup is a very easy sign to read. Wiggle the fingers. And when that runner at first base takes his lead, if he gets out there to a point, he can peek in and see the catcher sign. If you see the wiggle for a changeup, that's a good pitch to run on. So to try to hide it, Benji really closed that right knee, was almost pointed straight down the third baseline as he gave the signs. Of course, if you only do that on changeups, that's something that a runner could read very easily as well. You see that right knee slapping shut to make sure Aaron Miles can't see the signs. Most catchers will hang their mitt down in front of their left knee to block the third base coach, and you just have to make sure that your right shin guard is closed so that the first base coach and the base runner can't see. Molina really carries it to an extreme. Put that the mitt out there on the left shin guard so that Mike Quaddy can't peek in and see the signs.
Fly ball to left, and it's Lewis backing up. One thing Derek Lee talked to his manager about, Lou asked him, well, the one little tweak I'd like to see you make is keep your head on the ball just for a little bit longer. So when you take a pitch, maybe look back at it. Kind of felt like his head was flying open a little bit too much. Derek was getting under some balls. Derek talked about trying to stay on top of the ball. So just a little tweak. We've seen him drive the ball with authority.
We were talking about those minor adjustments the other day when the guy is maybe not having the kind of success he wants. At this level, it's usually a very small change. And sometimes it's just a mental change. You don't really have to change anything physically with your approach at the plate or your swing. Sometimes it's just a matter of having a different mental approach in that batter's box. But if it is a physical change to your approach, it's usually very, very minor.
Can it also be the case, Bob, sometimes when you get one specific instruction that's very simple and seemingly minor, that it does clear your mind of all the other stuff that you're thinking about?
Absolutely.
All the moving parts.
Yeah, a lot of players in the major leagues, if you look underneath the bill of their batting helmet, they'll write KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't overthink it. And if you're just focused on one thing, it tends to eliminate all the other distractions that may be causing you to have problems at the plate.
3 balls, no strikes. Gerald has to be very happy with the offense during this winning streak. They've scored a lot of runs. It's 3-1 on Lee. Wind flips down the shades, but no room to make a play. All right, do you send him here? You've got a strikeout pitcher. Derek with a good eye at the plate, but he'll strike out occasionally. You got the tying run at first. Double play opportunity. Well, a lot of factors.
I like to be aggressive, but I think in this situation, because Lincecum is a strikeout pitcher, Miles average speed at best over there at first, and you have a left-handed hitter in the on-deck circle. I think he's going to stay at first base. In the event Derek Lee does strike out, you have that hole on the right side for Micah Hoffpower.
Let's see how the Cubs play it. He does go. Swing and a miss. But he gets in. Throw is a little offline. 2 down in the inning. Miles does steal second base. The Cubs have stolen 9 over the last 6 games.
Good pitch to hit. Fastball up and out over the plate. Emmanuel Burris got over there in pretty good shape, but as you mentioned, Benji Molina's throw tailed back to the right field side of the bag at second. Had to avoid the runner, try to make the catch and tag all in one motion, and Miles able to slide underneath safely.
The kick and the pitch to Hoffpower off the end of the bat. Burris is going out. Wind's going to call him off. He had to battle the wind, maybe in the sun. What little sun there is to end the inning. Cubs threaten, do not tie it. We'll head off to the 7th. It's still 3-2 Giants. Marshall.
Plan your next corporate event or family gathering in the comfort of Wrigley Field Mezzanine Suites, presented by Nuveen Investments. Suites are available now for games during the season. Be sure to ask about our April and May incentives. To book your suite or for more information, visit www.cubs.com/suites or call 773-404-CUBS.
Lincecum batting. for the third time. 0 for 1. He laid down a sac bunt in the second. It's foul. Giants haven't scored since the first. Cubs with one in the second, another in the fifth. Cue shot picked up by Miles. It's a good thing Sean Marshall didn't get a glove on that because of all the English and the funny spin. If he had touched it with his glove, that thing would have shot in a weird direction, no doubt. The pitch to Lewis, tapper foul. Roberto Garza, Chris Williams, Tyler Reed from the Chicago Bears. Offensive line ready to sing our 7th inning stretch.
I feel a lot safer now than I did. Good protection.
Nobody's going to mess with us now. Marshall throws out Lewis. Time for the stretch.
Taking out to the ball game are Chicago Bears linemen Roberto Garza, Chris Williams, and Tyler Reed.
All right, Cubs, let me hear you. 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let's root for the Cubbies. If you win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Roberto.
Well, thank you very much. It's definitely an honor to be here.
Cinco de Mayo. I like the little. Change it up a little bit. Uno, dos, tres.
Absolutely. You know, it's definitely fun to come out and celebrate Cinco de Mayo and definitely show some of my roots and changing it up and going uno, dos, tres.
3-2 Giants, 2-0 the count. Lincecum still in as he works to Mike Fontenot. So your parents are from Mexico, right? And you're from Texas.
Absolutely. I was born and raised in South Texas. Played Division II football at Texas A&M Kingsville, and been playing football here with the Chicago Bears now for the past 4 years. Started with Atlanta for 4 years.
Oh, Roberto, the man in the on-deck circle, Bobby Scales, really had to pay his dues. 11 years in the minor leagues. A lot of people didn't give him much of a chance to make it to the big leagues, but he's here today making his debut. And I think there were probably a lot of people, back in your younger days that didn't think you had much of a chance to make it.
You know, it's definitely not how you start, it's how you finish. And sometimes it's a long road to try to get to your dream. But
it's definitely how you take advantage of the opportunities that are given to you. Obviously, getting a chance to play in the majors is a dream come true for anybody. Getting a dream to play, a chance to play in the NFL is definitely my dream, and I've been fortunate to play now for going on my 9th year.
Jeff Samardzija, former Notre Dame football and baseball stars in the bullpen. And how about the chance to protect Jay Cutler?
We haven't heard too much about Jay Cutler coming into town, have we? But you know, it's definitely it's going to be a fun year for us. Anytime you get a quarterback like him, or a Pro Bowl quarterback that's done the things that he's done, it's definitely exciting. It was tough to lose Kyle Orton, a great team leader, a great teammate, but we're moving on and definitely excited about the season that's upcoming.
Well, let's check out the first pitch today. Were you nervous out there at all?
Absolutely. You know, I've never thrown a ball from the mound. I think my top speed was probably 12 miles an hour. A little conservative from what I heard from my teammates, but it was definitely fun to get out there and wing it a little bit.
Yeah, don't bounce it. Just get it there in the air.
It was a little outside. I don't know if that would have been called a strike, but it was definitely fun.
It just has to get there in the air, Roberto. That's all that matters.
Bobby Scales hits it well, and it's knuckling, and I think it's caught. Yeah, it is. What a catch by Randy Wynn as Scales was aiming for his 2nd consecutive hit.
Hit it right on the nose. Sinking line drive. A great catch by Randy Wynn in right field. Saved extra bases right there for the Giants. I'll tell you, Bobby Scales, for playing his first game in the big leagues, he's not intimidated at all.
It says in your bio you've been chosen as the face of the Spanish version of Madden 09 and Espanol.
It was definitely an honor. I don't think anybody would have expected an offensive lineman to be in the front cover as a Madden. So, you know, it was definitely exciting for my family and friends, and it's obviously my teammates. I get to hear a little trash talk every once in a while about being on the cover of a game. Unfortunately, I see the same cover on Best Buy. I don't think anybody's bought it yet, but it's been fun.
Now, do you play the Madden game?
Absolutely. It's something, you know, we play a lot during training camp. We get some off time, play with some of the teammates, and unfortunately, I get beat a lot, but it's definitely fun.
1-1 on Coy Hill. That's low. If you had to pick one big key to the 2009 Bears season, what would you say that would be from your perspective?
You know, it's definitely getting back to the fundamentals and getting out there and doing the little things right, and going out there and executing our plays, and starting with the basics. And I think that's going to go a long way. We definitely have the talent, and just getting out there and getting the job done.
I'm sure there'll be a little bit of an adjustment. That's why you have a long training camp to get used to a new quarterback.
Absolutely, and that's what we start with actually now. We've been getting together as an offense and listening to Jay Cutler's snap count and getting used to that. But obviously, there's so much you can do at this point. You know, once you get the pads on, it's definitely the time we can get out there and hit some people, and nothing like practicing under live fire that kind of get things going.
I'm glad when you said hit people, you were looking at him and not me.
Now, how many guys were here? I mean, 9 or 10, right? On the field during batting practice?
Yeah, a
pretty big
guys.
Group.
Yeah, the whole offensive line and our long snapper, Patrick Manley. So we're definitely having a good time today, enjoying the beautiful Chicago day.
Is Olin here today?
Absolutely.
He's a little shy, though, right? He didn't want to sing today?
No. We are definitely having a good time with all the group, and obviously he's our veteran leader, and we're excited to have him back and leading the charge.
What's Olin Kreutz like off the field? Because he seems to be a rather intense individual on the field.
I'll tell you what, there's no better teammate to have. He's definitely a leader for us as an offensive line group. He's been here for 12, 13 years and knows how to do it all. Been to 6 Pro Bowls. Can't say enough good things about what he's done on the field, but as far as off the field, a great team leader, goes out and does things, you know, first one in, last one out. That guy you can definitely mold yourself off after.
Roberto Garza, thanks so much for the time. Happy Cinco de Mayo, and come back many more times.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Thanks to Roberto Garza for stopping by from the Chicago Bears. Marshall's still in as we get into the 8th. Getting late. Cubs are down only 1, but Tim Lincecum has been really good today. Action in both pins. Samardzija for the Cubs, Merquin Valdez for the Giants. Our closer is Brian Wilson. Two and one on Renteria. Will be followed by Aurelia and Molina. Hit foul. A lot of strikes today for Marshall. Renteria, only the 4th Colombian native to play in the majors. He wanted to be a soccer player when he was young. Instead, he became a 5-time All-Star major leaguer. In 2 different World Series, he was the final batter of the series. Game-winning hit for the Marlins in Game 7 of '97, made the final out in the '04 World Series for St. Louis against the Red Sox. Takes ball 4. That's a leadoff walk.
Hey, Cub fans, sign up for a subscription to Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Only Vineline offers exclusive coverage from spring training all the way through the Cubs' next postseason run. Visit the Vineline blog at Cubs.com and order today.
Seeing some of the ivy coming in. Little patches around the wall.
The leadoff walk to Renteria, the first base on balls issued by Sean Marshall in this game today. It wouldn't surprise me a bit to see Rich Aurelia try to drop down a bunt here, either a sacrifice bunt or a bunt for a base hit. He's not your prototypical number 3 hitter. You saw the numbers, batting only .207. Just plugged into that 3-hole for today.
Instead, he knocks one into left. And with that, Marshall's day will come to a close. So Jeff Samardzija coming on with 2 on and nobody out. With the Cubs trailing 3-2.
Nice running catch coming straight in for Randy Wynn. I'll tell you, we talk a lot about how tough it is to play right field here at Wrigley Field. Well, the ballpark where the Giants play their home games isn't much easier. Randy Wynn, one of the better defenders in the National League.
Samardzija inherits a jam. 2 on, no outs. And the top RBI man at the plate. 1-0 on Molina. Just the 5th appearance for Jeff. There was some thought, would Samardzija maybe start on Friday for Zambrano, and the Cubs decided not to because he's been shortened up now as a reliever and went to spring training as a starter and just hit Molina to load the bases.
Yeah, Lou also said the bullpen is finally settling down a little bit. Guys are getting comfortable in their roles down there, and he didn't want to disrupt that. Molina was wearing that protective elbow guard there, and Samardzija seemingly drilled him right on the pad.
Looks like he's all right. Dave Greshner out to tend to him, formerly with the Cubs. It gets even tougher. They're loaded with no outs. Lefty Neil Kotz is up. Kick and the 1-0 pitch. It's a strike. The 0 for Rowan has now reached 20 at bats. He bats with 3 on, and he drives this ball into the left field corner. And he's going to knock in a couple to make it 5-2. Aaron Rowan going into this series was one guy you had to be a little concerned about because he was so cold at the plate. Just hoping to get through this series before he came up with a big hit, but he had some insurance. It's his second extra base hit in his last 55 at bats.
That came on a tailing fastball right in the middle of the plate. Samardzija having a little trouble getting his pitches down there toward the bottom of the zone where he can get the ground balls he needs.
Those runs will be charged to Sean Marshall, which is going to make his line look a lot worse than he pitched today. Gave up 5 runs and 7+. Giants have been the worst team in the entire league with runners in scoring position. They've come up with a couple really big hits in this spot. Molina with the 3-run homer, and now Rowan with a 2-run double. 0-2 to win is too high. Got to think Lincecum's done 113 pitches. His spot very well could come up in this inning. And a base hit to right. Molina will trot home. Rowan to third. And it's 6-2.
Ball is off the outside corner away, and Randy Wynn reached out, hooked it back through the hole on the right side of the infield. And then when you talk about roles in the bullpen and where do guys fit in, how does it all fit together, one number you look at is inherited runners and how many of those inherited runners come around to score. So far this year for Jeff Samardzija, that has not been his strength. 3 out of 6 coming into play today had come around to score, and now the 2 runners he inherited from Sean Marshall today also have come around to score. That was something that Carlos Marmol excelled at last year. He would come into ball games with runners on base and leave them on base consistently. So he was the guy that Lou would go to when the starting pitcher would get in a jam, have some runners on base. Marmol was the guy to come in and bail the Cubs out.
Uribe with a little blooper, and Lee with a nice catch. It was fair, and the runners are going to hold. So after the first 5 Giants reached in this inning, Eric Lee on a nice basket catch, running away from home plate.
Uses that right hand to slap down on top of the baseball, making sure it didn't pop out of his mitt. Nice over the shoulder catch.
Well, the problem here, you can't play your middle infielders back and double play depth because Burris will simply beat it out. So they're forced to come in. Most guys, you play those middle guys back, turn a double play, get out of the inning. They pitch out to see if the Giants are thinking squeeze.
Squeeze, or perhaps a stolen base attempt at second base by Randy Wynn. Pretty good speed on the bases. Aaron Rowan not a burner over there at third base, but Randy Wynn, he can get down the line at first. Just getting underneath the baseball a little bit, causing everything to sail up in the strike zone or up high out of the strike zone.
Pablo Sandoval is in the on-deck circle for Lincecum. Taken all the way, ball 4. So a rough one for Samardzija today. Kotz is going to come in. And if it's Sandoval, he'll have to turn around and bat right-handed. 6-2 Giants in the 8th. Now at third. and they have plated 3 in the inning. Kotz versus Sandoval, right back to Neal. 1, 2, 3, double play, and that's the inning. One pitch gets 2 outs. Not before the Giants add on. They lead by 4 as we go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Cubs will go after their bullpen now. With the Cubs down 4. They'll face Merkin Valdez. Brian Pinch hitting for Neal Kotz.
About as efficient as you can be for Neal Kotz. One pitch, a 1-2-3 double play. Get your team back up there at the plate.
Arm trouble for Valdez. Tommy John surgery in September of 06. Did not pitch in 07. And then his season ended in mid-May last year because of a strained right elbow. Just trying to work a base at this point, find a way to get on. Kick in the pitch. Missed again, 3-0. He's been hot overall, not only with the power, but in the hit department overall. Three and 2. This newfound power. Ryan said, that's just 3. Not like it's 50. You don't want to get too high or too low. This game will humble you in a heartbeat. Good answer. That's so true. One thing you know, David Patton, is everyone gets humbled at some point.
Oh yeah.
He got under that one, and Randy Wynn will come over near the foul line to retire him. The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA Red Line stops directly at Wrigley Field at the Addison Station. For drivers, DeVry University offers remote parking and bus service for just $6. For more details, visit Cubs.com or call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000. I took the red line here myself today. Great way to come to the ballpark. Knee-high strike on Gathright. Joey's 1 for 3. The line on Tim Lincecum, 7 innings, just 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts.
Pretty solid outing for Lincecum. Perhaps not as dominating as we've seen him in some of his earlier starts this season. Probably not as dominating as we'll see him in the future. This guy is the real deal. He left the bench there for a minute. We thought he heard the ice cream truck. He's the kind of guy I could see him playing wiffle ball out in a park somewhere in the Bay Area between starts.
Gathright strikes out. Sure, he's well attired on getaway day here, but we heard a story about him coming into the home clubhouse with shower shoes on, flip flops,
raggedy
hair all over the place,
the hair standing straight up.
What's up, guys? You guys playing cards? 2 outs for Miles. Well, going back to your point about Barry Bonds, I mean, just the chemistry, I hate that word, but the atmosphere in that clubhouse, I'm sure it changed a lot the last couple of years. Maybe a little lighter in terms of the mood. Not as many media around.
I mean, we're guilty of it. We promo the upcoming games. Lance Berkman in the Astros. You know, you single out one player and the rest of the team. And I don't know if there's ever been a more exaggerated instance than Barry Bonds and the Giants. It was like 2 different entities. Barry was Barry, and the rest of the Giants were the rest of the Giants.
Behind second, little pop, and that cost Edgar Renteria as Miles beat it out. A little bit of a double clutch, and Aaron keeps the 8th alive.
You can do one of 2 things as an infielder. When you make that kind of a play going that far to your left as Renteria did, and then reach into the glove and don't have a good handle on the ball, you can go ahead and throw it and hope.
Fukudome cooled off on this homestand. He's 0 for 13 since the Cubs returned home last week. One and one. Ten hits for the Giants. Cubs have 5. No errors in the ball game. None in the series, in fact. There goes. Pitches a strike. Miles is safe. Be really sure on a play like that down 4 late, but he got in, and Aaron is 2 for 2 today, 3 for 3 on the year.
I'm really kind of surprised Benji Molina even made that throw. You could clearly see Rich Aurelia playing behind Aaron Miles down there at first base, basically telling him, if you want to take the base, go ahead. Usually in that circumstance, a catcher will just hold the ball, let it be a defensive indifference, rather than take the stolen base against your throwing numbers.
Well, we have a chance. We want to send out happy birthday wishes to Jim Obojkowicz, account executive in the Cubs marketing department. And the front office team center pulled out some big rebounds.
No kidding.
Two-two to Kosuke. Miles with a healthy lead at second. Ball 3. It's full. Nice note from Candy from Cortland. Wanted to say hello to her Aunt Marion Rochelle. Always brought her to the Cubs games for her birthday when she was a kid. Ball 4. 2-out rally bringing up Derek Lee. Dave Brighetti's going to head out. If you've never been to Wrigley Field or been 1,000 times, a guided tour of the friendly confines has something for everyone. Each tour includes visits to places like the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates throughout the season. Tickets are $25. A portion of the proceeds benefit Cubs designated charities. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Nice note from Chip Marshall. 53rd birthday today. He and his wife Nora, their 2 daughters Grace and Bridget, here at the ball game, celebrating 53 years as a Cub fan. Glad to have them here. I want to say hi to family and friends back in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, especially Grandma Joanne. 1 strike to Lee. Marshalls are from Glenview. Aaron Heilman has joined David Patton in the bullpen.
With a couple runners on base, Derek Lee at the plate. If he would happen to stomp on one right here, hit it in the bleachers, you're looking at a 1-run ball game, and suddenly, you want to bring Heilman in that game to hold it right there. For the Giants, left-hander Jeremy Affeldt is loose and ready to go, just standing down there on the mound as you get a look at a middle of the plate fastball to Derek Lee. And what you were talking about earlier, maybe the head just came off a little bit early right there. Jeremy Affeldt, the only left-hander the Giants have, and really be surprised to see him come into this ball game because we know who Lou has available on the bench today.
He struck him out swinging on a heater at 96. Cubs strand 2. We'll head off to the 9th as the Giants lead by 4. Padres come in to start the next homestand. Crazy game in Washington. It's 10-10 in the bottom of the 11th, and it's raining. Astros tied it with a run in the ninth. There's a seesaw battle today. Roy Oswalt left with a finger injury. As David Patton will take over for the Cubs.
Slight delay here. I'm guessing we're waiting for the lights to come on. It's gotten a little cloudier as this game has progressed, and before Renteria, or rather Lewis, stepped in to take his at bat, Tony Randazzo told him, let's take it easy. We're going to wait a minute, let the lights heat up, and we will proceed.
That gives us a chance to tell you the producer of Cubs baseball today on Comcast Sportsnet is Mark Brady. Our director is Bob Albrecht. Our associate producer, Tamara Anderson. Our stage manager in the booth, Christine Charbonneau. Chris Kentner is our technical director. Our tech manager, Mark Harper, and the senior executive producer of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is Jim Corno Jr. Great work the entire homestand by our crew. I guess we're ready to go. The lights just came on. Ball one on Lewis. Last time out for Patton, he got his first major league win. What goes through a manager's mind right now? Your team's down 4. I mean, you try not to think about tomorrow, right? But it's natural just to kind of maybe run through your head. All right, line up here. Okay, I'm going to put Koski 3 or 4. We got this guy. What? I mean, what? Do you fight that as a manager? Not looking past today?
I don't think he's probably looking past this hitter right now. He's just hoping David Patton can get his team 3 quick outs and get his offense back in that dugout, and then try to figure out a way to score at least 4 runs to tie this thing up. But there are dead times during the course of a ball game when the other team's perhaps making a pitching change, or you're waiting for the lights to come on. You do tend to look ahead a little bit. Think who's had a good day today, who's looked good at the plate, who maybe of the guys that were in the lineup today maybe need a day off tomorrow. Of course, a lot of times you've already looked 3 or 4 days ahead to see who the scheduled starting pitchers are and look at the matchup numbers from your team against those pitchers. Look at your pitchers against the opposing teams, and you're already starting to think about potential lineups 2, 3, 4, 5 days ahead.
Affeldt is back up in the Giants' pen. A roller up the middle by Renteria. So he has reached 3 times. So the 4-run lead. Bruce Bochy deciding no need to get up Ryan Wilson for the time being.
Well, with Hoffpower leading off the inning, Fontenot batting second in the bottom half of the 9th inning. I would assume there's a chance we'll see Soriano, Ramirez, unless Lou wants to just give them the total day off.
Called strike on Aurelia. He thought it was outside. We won't see the Giants again until very late in the season. The last 4 road games for the Cubs. I guess he didn't get a piece of it, as Renteria stole second base. Aurelia swung but did not nick the ball. Oh yeah, he missed it by a bunch. As it rolled up the chest protector of Coy Hill. So Renteria gets his first steal of the season. Ground ball to Lee. 2 outs. Runner at third. Huge day for Molina. Go ahead 3-run homer in the first. Single in the third. Retired on a diving play by Bobby Scales in the 6th, and then hit by a pitch and a run in the 8th. So as it stands now, Molina would get his National League leading 6th game-winning RBI. Fukudome in right. That ends the inning. Patton with a scoreless 9th. It's like Affeld's coming in to try to close them out. 6-2 San Francisco.
Up the 2 runs, struck out 7.
Reed Johnson will bat for Michael Hoffpower against the lefty Affeld. Reed got his first RBI of the year last night with a sacrifice fly in the 5th. Ball 1 low.
Jeremy Affeld taking over for the Giants. Well-traveled left-hander, originally signed by Kansas City. Also been with the Rockies, Cincinnati Reds, now the San Francisco Giants.
Got a 2-year deal over the winter. And he signed at the right time, early, November 17th. My guess is if he had waited until December or January, he might not have gotten that 2nd year. A lot of guys had to wait. 3 balls, no strikes.
Affeld was one of the few bright spots for the Colorado Rockies in that 07 World Series against the Red Sox. He pitched in 4 of the ball games, didn't give up a run. .335 lifetime pinch hitter is Reed Johnson. 1 for 3 this season.
3-2. Back to Affelt. We'll run it halfway over and flip the rest of the way to Aurelia. Here comes Bradley for Fontenot. Brian Wilson in the bullpen, just in case.
What you were doing was looking down when you started singing. It scared me for a little bit.
My go-to line with Brian Wilson's always, "I love pet sounds." I thought it was his best work.
Most guys don't have the same kind of success in their second career that Brian Wilson's had.
The 0-1 to Bradley. Chopper backing up Uribe. Throw is in the dirt. Dug out by Aurelia.
It wasn't the prettiest play you'll ever see, but it was effective for the Giants. Uribe got caught in between hops, backed up on the ball, threw it in the dirt across the diamond to Rich Aurelia, but he made a nice pick over there at first base to bail out his third baseman.
Bobby Scales batting right-handed for the first time. He's had a good day, good debut for Bobby Scales. 1 for 3, almost had 2 hits. Nice diving play on defense. Nothing in 2 the count. Good numbers at Iowa, off to an excellent start. Swing and a miss, and that does it. The Giants get a split. And the Cubs finished the homestand with a winning record, 4-2, but their 4-game win streak comes to an end. So 14-12 overall on the year. And again, we won't see the Giants for quite some time. Right near the end of the season, late September. Tim Lincecum over Sean Marshall today, and Lincecum was just too good today.
Yeah, Lincecum was pretty darn good. Sean Marshall was equal to the task for most of the ball game, just kind of ran out of gas.